Hey you guys, we've got a 2005 Kia Sedona here, and customer complaint was running rough and check engine light on. So the scan test revealed a bank 1 sensor 1 heater problem on that, but the it showed no misfires whatsoever on the car. So anyway, I tried to duplicate it, make it happen. A mixture of Windex, spraying down all the wires, and when I did, I could see it jumping out right here, actually out of the coil. So it's been, 80,000 miles. It's got original wires and coils in it. We could change just one coil. I talked to the customer about it, and they're going to allow me to change all 3 coils, plugs, all the wires on it. Obviously, the O2 circuit heater, bank 1 sensor 1. So we're going to commence to doing that job. Stay tuned. All right, on this particular car, you've got to pull the upper intake plenum to get to the back spark plugs. So let's take that, again, an air cleaner. Let's get it out of the way so that we don't have to fool with that. And then start taking stuff apart, obviously. Here we go. It's missing some of the bolts holding the air cleaner on, and it's tie strapped in the back. So we're going to have to cut that tie strap in the back and do that, and takes a bunch of stuff apart. But anyway, I got to check for the front. Wanted person, of course. Okay, so get my thoughts back again. Air cleaner, we're going after. 10 mil hose clamp or boot clamp right there. And there's a little hose on the side of it right there. And we got a sensor. It has a little divot holding it in right there. And then we got to unplug it, push it down, and pull it out. Now let's get that thing out of the way. Just going to set it over there along with the air filter. All right. I'm going to go after taking that upper intake off plenum first. Let's see what we got to do. We got a bracket here going with some hoses right there. I'm going to set these bolts right up here. Helps me stay on track. We've got 12 millimeter bolts all the way across, and we got a bracket. Do some wiring right here. I'm going to put that one right there. Move that to the side. We got another bracket right here and a ground wire. But we can leave the ground wire connected. That's out of our way. Let's see here. Tilt that camera just a little bit right there. Behind that windshield wiper motor right there is a plug to the idle air control. We're going to take that off. Now 12s all the way, like I was telling you. Going to start pulling all those out. Most common tools, 12s, 10s, and 8s. That's just holding the wiring harness on right there. And again, I want to place them straight up here. Got a 10 right there that I should have removed. We'll come back to it. A nut there, put right there, and a nut on this side. Couldn't quite get those suckers loose, so where does it just go? I just dropped that 12. There's a little lock washer on it. I'm going to have to find this one or find that one. Thought it was stuck in my socket, but it wasn't. Going to be some brackets on the back side of that upper intake that we're going to have to address. Just trying to get the lock washer off the top of that. There we go. Put it with that one. Other lock washers over there. Of course, we got the accelerator linkage over here and the throttle body. Now, sometimes it's easier just to pull the throttle body off and slide it back than it is to try to disconnect all the coolant hoses and all those things that are going to it. So that's going to be my decision. I'm going to take off the throttle body in this case. You may not do it that way, but that's what I'm going to do. As soon as I locate my tools here that I keep throwing all over the place. Get all the bolts out, but I think there is a bracket on the back side of that. Just kind of feeling around. It's back there. I can feel it. I just got to find out where the bolt is. Right there. Right there. It goes to the back of the valve cover. We're going to need probably a 1/4 inch on that one. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, 1/4 inch ratchet. A small ratchet. Maybe a midi-sized socket. We might be able to bust it loose coming around the back. Whoa. Don't get old. Everything hurts. I'm going to start a top nut because my throttle body's twisting with me. And reach back here again. Oh, I thought I had it started anyway. Well, well. Yeah, that throttle body was twisting on me. funny with this noise canceling mic. I got my mechanic back there yelling all kinds of stuff. You can't hear a word he's saying on my video. I love it. I think it was just holding up a little bracket on or something. There we go. So we can just kind of place that back, but yeah, it's going through a bracket back there. Put the throttle body bolts in the air cleaner area. Just makes common sense to me. All right, that little bracket for this we were talking about earlier. Place that right there. There we go. Just making sure I was still recording there. All right. Now there is the brackets on the back side of this thing that we're going to have to attack. Let's get a better vision of this job. So I'll be right behind the motor there. See that bracket with the hole in it? It's bolted to. Oh man, my neck is killing me. It's bolted to that throttle body there. And you got another sensor back there. It's a mass airflow sensor plugged in. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug that. Let's see. Reach back here. I think these are 14s. No, they're 12s. I don't know what book time was for this job. I don't recall. I'm not really worrying about being a flat rate mechanic because I own the place and we're shooting video, so it always takes longer. Now I'm gonna have to use like an open end 12mm wrench on the back side of that because there's no room. There's like a pipe coming across the back of that. There's two, if you can get it on there, because it also goes down in a recess. All right, so can't do it that way. So we'll regroup. We're going to go back to our 1/4 inch, and we're going to go back with a short socket and see if we can get it with that. Yeah, dang heater hose is right on us. I got one more option, guys. Just the room in between there is very, very, very tight. Let's try one of these gear wrenches. They're a little bit shorter of room, and we can angle the ratchet, see if we can get a hold of it. Going the right direction there. I feel like I'm getting on it anyway. Yeah, sort of. Sort of. All right, I got it broken loose, but this ratchet's so long, I can't get it in there. I have a shorter one, a gear wrench, pass-throughs. Let's see if we can get that down there. All right, we were able to get it there. Got it loose some more. And there's one more in the front of that bracket. That bracket goes down to a CV kind of thing down there. And bolts to the back of the motor. And I'm hoping, with all due respect, that I can get it out of there without having to pull that whole thing out. Well, that bracket's doing really well. I didn't realize it split. Can't see everything. Okay. Now, for the sake of keeping things organized, okay, let's put these in there. Let's see how we're doing here. We got some bolts somewhere else because she ain't moving yet. Got that one out and that one out. We got all of these. Aha, underneath that bracket. Timmy, sometimes 12 millimeters all the way across. This sucker's going to move here shortly. All right, there must be another bracket back there. There is, right on the back, toward the throttle body. Let's go get that one. Make sure it's not going to any wires. It's holding a wiring harness probably for our O2 sensor. I'm going to put that right there. Let's see if we're moving. Okay, that wasn't it. Yep, they're still kind of missed it. Might have taken the wrong nut out back there. It's okay. Or bolt, excuse me. A lot of times on the videos, I don't fast forward them. I don't cut. I don't edit. You see in real time, so I allow the viewer to do all that. There we go. So there's two back there. We got some movement. We've got to see what else might be connected to it, like some hoses and things like that. But technically, if you didn't want to, you didn't have to pull it completely out of your way. I'm gonna remove it. Got a hose clamp for your power brake booster right there. She's tight. It looks like she's gonna rip too. Hang on just a second. Need to twist it. There we go. We got it broke loose. Now let's see if I can pull it off of there without busting my knuckles. All right, that's off. There's going to be, well, there's a wire right there to the other part of our control. On the back side of this are two hoses. They're different sizes, so you won't get them mixed up. Just take them off. Go into this piece right here. I'm going to put that back there. Let's set this intake off to the side. I started this company when I was 32. I think I've been at it on my own for, I don't know, 26 years, 35 years of wrenching. I'm a relic or a dinosaur. Wrenching harder than I have in a long time. We're going to cover up this intake ports. We don't want anything falling down in there, and we've got it. Now we'll commence to getting all the wires, looms, and stuff we need to remove. All right, so let's go after these coils. I'm going to kind of lay this out correctly, because certain brackets and things that are going on the coils we want back in the same place. Okay. Little bracket right there. It wasn't too bad. As far as taking this thing apart, expected it to be harder than that. All right, so we've got it laid out. Pull our coils up, unplug. Pull our coil up and unplug. Let's just lay this side stuff just like that. We don't have any oil intrusion here. Let's see if we got any on the back side. Nothing there. Because if we did, we'd be going after some valve cover gaskets leaking oil. All right, just pulled them up and letting them set there. Now here's what I want to do next. I'm going to pull the spark plugs out. Let's take a little gander at them and see what they look like. Not wearing my gloves. Oh no. Shame on me. Just kidding. I intermittently wear gloves, not all the time. So we need to refocus our camera back down. But not on the floor, obviously. Sorry about that. Had to pan out a little bit. I don't think you saw me taking the coils out. Anyway, all the coils are sitting up here on the side. and the front valve cover, and the wires are off of the rear. Now we're going to take the spark plugs out of this vehicle. Looking down in there, I don't see any trash, but I'm going to blow the thing out anyway and get some trash out of here. There we go. We finally got an old Vanago, what years, I think 1984. Got a Go Westy engine in it. Came from Go Westy. Had a misfire and it got it all together running rough. We had they had the valves adjusted too tight. Something like adjusted the valves, got rid of the pop. Going after my back spark plugs, guys. Just loosening them up right now. Anyway, that a bunch of wiring, bunch of fuel hoses, bunch of stuff. Big job. You can probably see those brackets back there. Not sure. Yeah, see those brackets? That's what bolts to our intake. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Stuff we had earlier. Anywho, plugs are loose. Got all my parts here. Let's check, see what our gap on our plugs are supposed to be. Basically 1 millimeter. We'll double check that before we put them in, because you never know. All right, let's see if this will fit down in there. The typical torque for a spark plug is around 20 foot-pounds. So anyway, I'm going to take all these spark plugs out, gap my new ones, and put them back in. Hang on just a minute. All right, so we got our Denso spark plugs, the Iridium Powers. This is the, excuse me, the IK16 or the 5303s. We got our gap at 1 millimeter. We got our anti-seize on our threads. I'm going to just set these down in here. All right, now we'll get them started by hand. So I'm about to starve to death. It's lunchtime. And my wife's asking me, what's to eat? I don't know if you could hear that. I doubt it. And my mechanic's behind me grumbling about stuff. Keeps the day interesting. Actually, 20 pounds. Excuse me, foot pounds. She's got so much in my head. Hope we got a throttle body gasket along with that intake set that I ordered. Probably not. That's the way it works. You got to order a gasket. All right, so we got our plugs in. They're all torqued. Got our light in the way so you couldn't see anything. Funny. All right, let's put our new coils in there. These are Ultrams. And our part number on the Ultram 8s, see if we can get it out here so you can see it. 1415136. A little bit of dielectric in there. Come on. Can't say as I like that. There, got it locked in. Awful tight. Oh, you know what? No, all the coils are the same. There we go. All right, just like that. All right, so we had a bracket coming across here. You can see the stain on the valve cover. Just like that. Let's get another coil. For some reason, I've only got 2 coils. Be calling my parts vendor and say, what's up with that? Thank goodness I don't have to stop. I could proceed to put this thing together without those. And that one went in a whole lot better. Right there. And this one had a bracket sitting right here. Yep, we're going to have to hold off on that front coil because they didn't send it to me. That sucks. Tighten up what we got. Run what we got. Stop in here in a little bit and eat lunch. Now, don't freak out. Up. Maybe should freak out. That's weird. Thought I started those by hand. Or obviously I didn't. That was stupid. All right. You didn't see that, did you? Yeah, I don't like doing that. Sorry, guys. Anyway, we're okay. All right. So we are in hold for the rest of the coils. I'm going to pause and order a coil and be right back to the car. All right, guys, my mic was down. Didn't realize it on all the previous videos. It looks like I've got it now. 2005 Kia Sorento, and we were doing a tune-up, had a misfire. I was explaining earlier how I found the misfire by spraying down the wires with Windex, and you could see it misfiring. Apparent was one coil. Customer outdo all coils, wires, and plugs on it. So we pulled the intake. You saw a lot of that in the silent movie. And we torqued all our spark plugs, gapped our spark plugs, dielectricked all of our coils that we were able to put in. I'm waiting on one coil, and dielectric our wires, and we're going to be able to run our wires. They are labeled and numbered. Here we got one. Where is it at? Get it out here, yep. All right. Number one, here's our belt and edge wires. Let's get you that part number. There's 700 215s. Up, upside down. 700 215s. Anyway, I was a little aggravated when I found out that we had no sound. So I'm just going to slide this over and install my spark plug. That goes to number one. Just to keep us all on track. Running it up under, bringing it around, and we know that goes to that. Now we'll do our next wire, number 5, and obviously the one in the center here is number 3. So let's put this one in. We'll get all of our retainers in. I just don't want to cross any wires and deal with that. All right, let's just verify. Number 3 comes across the front and goes to our furthest actual coil right there. Yep. Now last but least, it's number 5. Our dielectric in that one, and install our wire. Run her across there. Whoop. Let's go underneath all this. All right. And that one's going to go right there. We're waiting on a coil, like I was saying earlier in this video, that has not shown up yet. So let's take a look at all this. It goes over and under. Oh, you're weirding me out now. All right, that's my furthest one back. It's number 5. Oh well. Was trying to keep some sanity to it. Now it looks like I'm trying to cross wires. Ha. Oh. Let's punt and start over. It's definitely going to number 1. It's definitely number 3. And this one. Whoops, didn't mean to pull that off. All right. Yep, we're good there. All right, we're good and in place. Now we're waiting on a coil, and we'll proceed from there. All right, if you get screwed up like I did, there's your firing order and your coils and your wires. Just draw it out and install them. You do not want to cross a wire on this sucker. Be a pain in the butt to fix later. All right, we got our last coil, finally. Let's get this sucker installed, get this baby back together. Yep, there we go. All right. That's another tight one. All right, so we got a new intake gasket put on there. I'm waiting on the throttle body gasket. We can do that later. New intake gaskets on there. Let's grab our upper intake plenum. Make sure all of our old intake gasket is off of here. All right, got that down. All right, let's set her up in here. Whoop. Hold on just a minute, Timothy. I'm about to double gasket that sucker. There's another stupid mistake about to be made. All right. Let's start all of our bolts at 20 foot-pounds on these bolts, by the way. There's that other lock washer. I got to get a nut for that. Lots of little tins. All right, let's just run those in a little bit. Let's see here. Figure out where I threw my 12 mil. Let me go find a nut for that back side that I lost. So, see what's going on there. All right, it's time to torque. Okay, we're all torqued in. Let's get our back brackets started back here. Some sensors to plug in. Oh, let's find my wire here. Get a light, I can't see what I'm doing. And there's one more wire to that sensor right there. Let me find it. It's got to be close. There it is. Okay. In, locked, locked in. Let's get that wiring harness with the O2 right there. There, got it. Now that rear O2 is bank 1, sensor 1. So let's pause for a second and unplug it. A whole lot easier to do now than it's going to be later since we got to change that rear O2. There we go. Let me fill that thing. Yeah. Okay, we got it. I'm going to put that bracket back in there after I change that O2. Now, those were a couple of 12s there. Another 10 over here. I think there's one more bracket over here. Yep, that one right there. Now let's tighten up all of our brackets, bolts, 12s, and get that completed. We're well on our way. All right, we're waiting on a throttle body gasket, so we can't start it. So again, we'll pick up from there in a little bit. All right, guys, I had to take a little break, come back to this thing. Again, I'm sorry for the silent movie in the beginning. All right, we got throttle body and the gasket on. The back bracket's on. I got to tighten it up. Whoop, knocked the camera around. I got to tighten that up. Plus miscellaneous little nuts and bolts. There we go. I'm going to reach across the back of that thing and tighten up the back brackets. I actually took a break to do that O2 sensor. Rear bank back there. I had to cut the wires off, had to heat it up, and had to get a big breaker bar on it to bust it loose. So we got the top bracket on there, and I'm going to reach around there again and tighten up these bolts. Ran them in most of the way with my hand. These little gear wrench pass-through ratchets they're pretty cool. Should make it easier on some things. This being one of them. Can't see what you're doing back here. You're just feeling your way through it. Kind of knowing where they're at. And one more in the front of the throttle body there. Remind you that that has the bracket that holds the O2 wiring harness up. We got our vacuum hose to our vacuum booster. There's a couple hoses in front of the throttle body on. Like I said, these are on, these are on. The cover's got to go on. These bolts are in. We've got to get our air filter. There's a little hose that goes there. Get that on there. You know, lube it up a little bit so it'll slide a lot easier. There's a little bracket that holds the hoses in place. Little hose there. All right, we're in. Okay, the push tab that the wiring harness to the mass airflow sensor. We're there. This thing just needs some needs some tie straps and things that were holding it together like it was before. Let's tighten this up right here. All right, I want to look it over, make sure I got everything done one more time. I'll get that in place. All right, they're all locked in, our wires are on. Let's start it up, see how she runs. She sounds good. Rev her up a little bit. Yep, that sounds good. I did notice CV axle underneath, boots ripped, torn. Throwing some grease out. I'm going to talk to him about replacing that. We got the engine cover to put over the top. Got to take your oil cap off for that. Put it back on. Bunch of tins with shoulders on them that takes care of that. So that's your Misfire. Bad wires, one coil. One had me do all of the coils, all the wires, all the plugs. And she's running smooth. 2005 Kia Sedona 3500 series dual overhead cam 24 valve. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of it. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.